Hi, Julie Powers here, and welcome to my kitchen. My kitchen is for dancing, by the way, but it's also for cooking and preparing other good things to eat. And as part of today's recipe, we're going to be using all kinds of yummy things. We are going to make some crispy peanut butter bites. I have the recipe here that I can provide in the comments, and I'm going to start off with these koala crisps, and these are just crispy brown rice puffs. They're like Rice Krispies, but these are organic and non-GMO. You can also use other crispy rice. This one is another organic and non-GMO version, but it doesn't have any of the cocoa powder. You can use Rice Krispies if you want. Doesn't matter, but we just chose some healthier alternatives for this recipe. Also, I'm using some gluten-free oats. Now, oats are supposed to be gluten-free, but they're not always. So you want to get some if you are gluten intolerant or gluten sensitive or have celiac. You want to make sure that you get the ones that say gluten-free on them, because that means that they were prepared in a manufacturing plant that can actually say it's gluten-free. So we have oats, we have the crispy rice, and then we have some peanut butter. Now, a lot of people have very specific tastes when it comes to peanut butter. And this is something that I learned was that using all natural peanut butter means checking the ingredients and the labels and making sure that you get real peanut butter that's just peanuts and salt, or some that's just peanuts. So this recipe, I'm actually doubling this recipe today, so it looks like there's a whole bunch in here because I'm going to be making a whole lot of crispy peanut butter bites, because I have a lot of things coming up that I would like to have them in my freezer and ready to take to different events and activities and parties, and also to share with people as gifts. So it's just a fun thing to have. Let's see, next I have 1 scoop of the Juice Plus Chocolate Complete. Now, I keep mine in this giant container because I go through it so quickly. It's just easier for me to get in and out of that. But you can get it in a bag that has 15 servings or a single serve packet. And what I love about the Juice Plus Complete powder is that there's 13 grams of clean protein in it. It's all plants, it's vegan. There's no whey, there's no animal products whatsoever in here. But you also get 8 grams of fiber, and then there's less than 1 gram of fat, but it's the really good fat. This is like packed with all kinds of amazing nutrition, and it's low glycemic if used by itself. So diabetics can use this and not worry about, spiking their blood sugar. Keeps it really even. But when you're adding things like honey, which we're going to, and chocolate chips, which we're going to, that's where you're going to get that spike in the blood sugar. So just be aware of that. Let's see, we're going to use some honey. And again, I am doubling this recipe, so it looks like there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. But whenever you make a single batch, this will have about 36 balls that you can make out of it. And then I'm going to have just a little bit of time to stir this up, and then I'm going to add the chocolate chips in. Now, the chocolate chips that I use are these Enjoy Life dark chocolate chips, and they're dairy-free, and I love these because it's that dark chocolate. If you like other chips, the Nestle's, okay. If you like Ghirardelli dark chocolate chips, those are amazingly delicious. They're really big and flat, so they don't work as well in the balls. This Enjoy Life has another option that is a mini chip, and that's a dairy-free as well, but it's not the dark chocolate, so it just kind of depends on your tastes, what your family enjoys, what you're doing with these. So anyway, you're going to stir this all up, and then you're going to add in the chocolate chips, right? So you can use a really good sturdy spatula to do this, but what I find to be the most fun is I use these surgical gloves and I just dig in. I wouldn't have to necessarily use the gloves to make stuff, but I like to keep my rings on, my wedding ring, and so this keeps the product that I'm making nice and clean without any kind of stuff that could be on my rings. And I also like to get pretty messy with it, and then I can just take the gloves off and not worry about it. So I'm gonna just stir this together and make it really well blended. And it's kind of fun. So if you're making this with kids, it's a great way to get them involved, and they'll enjoy making this because it's messy, but not really that messy, but it'll feel like they're playing with Play-Doh or some other kind of fun, gooey, squishy stuff. Kids always love that, right? Now, there are so many different recipes that you can make with like a protein powder. It doesn't have to be the Juice Plus Complete. I just know this product because it is so delicious and it's so highly nutritious that that's what I use for all of my goodies like this. But you can use anything that you want if you have something else that you prefer. So what we're going to do is, after this is well blended together, mixed together, you're just going to grab a little bit like this, and you're going to just roll it together and make a ball. Throw it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper if you want, or it can just be a plain cookie sheet. Doesn't have to have parchment paper on it. But once I get these all rolled up and on there, and they can be tight together, because you're just going to pop that into the freezer and get it nice and cold, and then you can either put it into an airtight container like a Tupperware dish or something like that and leave it in your refrigerator or in your freezer, or you can use Ziploc freezer bags, keep it in your freezer for, you know, I've done several for months and they're fine, but these will not last that long because they're going to be used up and eaten very quickly. I think that's everything for this particular recipe, and I want to know if you make it how you like it.